against Bestness at a different tournament. I feel like Yosefu is definitely going to be one of the favorites to actually qualify here. So we'll see what he can do in a difficult matchup here against Pugi. 2 out of 3 set here to get into, I believe this is round 3.
We're getting farther. and farther. I'm seeing like that mid-range that is exactly what I'm talking about. When you're in range of that Belmont whip, you're actually in a pretty bad spot. Either way, you're just outside of that range, or it's far enough in that it's not really an option on Belmont.
I mean, and already you can see, right, that Yosefu is using those projectiles, not to say, okay, Pugi can only use these moves, right, but to keep him either at a range where he doesn't have to worry about interactions, or to where he is right in that mid-range, like we're talking about. But I think that Pugi has already quickly caught on, okay, as long as I can get close, it's going to be just a guessing game for this point.
Right, disadvantage is pretty difficult for the Belmonts, especially in a matchup with Wolf. He just constantly puts you in situations where even if he's not doing true combos, he's setting up mix-ups off of his hits. Something really low if that up smash is going to avoid them. Now, anybody can land the now I think, ooh, wow. I really expected Pugi to back off a little bit, put on some pressure and force the Belmont to come in.
I think a part of that is that Pugi just got a little bit timid, right? Didn't want to commit to the approach, so he stopped short and ended up right in that range at the tip of the whip. And so Yosefu was able to take the lead, and now, you can see with that back air, it's gotten a lot more even, but that was a big chance with Yosefu having him off stage, sitting under the platform, especially on Smashville. That's a place where it's going to be really hard to eject the Belmont from in the first place.
Now, we're seeing all the way to the other side. Taking a moment, just a moment, in these other matchups, even on a small stage like Smashville, to say, all right, I'm going to the other side, I'm going to rethink my approach before I do something stupid. I love it.
I think in almost any matchup, I think it's good to kind of concede some space as long as you can guarantee a safe landing and give yourself a little bit of area to move, right? It's a little bit different when you got a Belmont trapping you so deep into a corner, right? And he can do it from center stage on Smashville. But yeah, you're talking about, okay, if he's a little bit close to the ledge, then go ahead and give him some space and give yourself some room.
There we go. Doing a good job again of punishing these little mix-ups and disadvantage. He's only getting a little bit off of it. Now we're reaching like the middle higher percents where, especially with Rage, Wolf doesn't get quite as much of a vortex, so now he's going to have to work a little bit harder for it. But I mean, we're in prime like fair back air range, like towards the edge of the stage, could easily bring him back around to the Wolf. So stage control is going to be huge at this juncture.
160 on a Wolf. You better believe that getting off this ledge is going to be hard. That is going to be a big setup for a kill indeed, because right there, you would think that, okay, if the Belmont player is, a little gung-ho, they might try and forward smash me there on the rebound and then roll on stage and make it easy. But right there, Yosefu stayed patient. It's what we've seen a lot of, too, is that I think that Yosefu has had some situations, oh my god,
Yosefu is a man who plays with guts, and I love to see it. Who needs just the simple sit back and zone gameplay when I've got a Wolf under me that I can put my boot on? Come to Papa.
And Pugi just cannot find a landing right now. The tempo that Yosefu is using these projectiles at is just making it so difficult for Pugi to get back on stage. But now, with the ledge guard setup, he actually gets caught off guard by the get-up attack, something he didn't realize he was in range of, and that was a move that I would do.
Yeah, man after your own heart.
Big shout-outs to Pugi for that one. The up B into the fire, and if he had the fire does not launch you the way that you might expect it would, like an arc fire, right?
Yeah.
And so without that air dodge, that actually would have been huge brain to make it back safely.
Still would have had to struggle through an entire other stock if he was able to take the first one, both sitting at very high percents, but I mean, he had heart. He definitely had heart.
That was an idea that I look at and go, okay, this man's thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking.
I can see that this man has got a brain and it is working.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah. I really love. I mean, that first two stocks that were played really even, but you can see in the matchup, both characters had the opportunity to vortex and really press that advantage. And I think the momentum speaks a lot to how the matchup is going to go. Yosefu, after the second stock, really just took that momentum and did not let it go.
Well, and I think what's so big for Yosefu here, too, is that he was spending a lot of that early game in game one not committing big to punishes, right? He was spending a lot of time saying, all right, I'm going to fake apply the pressure as if I'm going to go for, this forward air or this down air off stage, right? And see how my opponent reacts, but he gathers the data without putting himself at risk. He sees how they're going to react, and now he can take that into game 2, and he can consider, okay, now if I want to get more aggressive, I know where I can, and I know where I need to back off.
And I think the biggest thing that I saw that was snowballing some of that towards Yosefu's favor was all of the forward tilts that Pugi was running into. Like, it was... There was a couple of times where it was like the retreating aerial, but most of the time I saw it was that forward tilt where the range just they weren't 100% comfortable with. Pugi would get hit by one after another, and just feel you could look at it, and I would feel mad. I'm watching that, I'm like, man, that's
I don't want to be at that range.
Yeah, well, I don't want anyone to be there, please.
Yeah.
So if Pugi just takes a step to maybe a bigger bite than the wolf. Comes through with a croc. Maybe that's what he needs. Some armor through it.
His D&D challenge rating just went up by one quarter. He's gotten objectively more dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's got a swim speed too. He's getting out of the wolf.
Not that you're gonna need it here. We're still on Smashville. There is a river, but you know, unless you're already getting KO'd, you're not gonna need to utilize it. I think what he's looking for is the ability to just absolutely power through projectiles and say, all right, I don't care if you're throwing, you know, across. I don't care if you're hitting me with a whip. I can just nair and get through it, and I don't gotta worry.
Oh my gosh, yeah, he doesn't care about it at all. You see how much pressure he took under the guys have been throwing.
Yo, hold on, that nair off stage, he actually body blocks him too with that massive game roll body.
Alright, and now it's still sitting at a crazy high percent. As K-Roll, this is definitely still that percent. Forward tilt is going to come through clean. That's a classic Belmont setup. You got that fire, the holy water on the edge.
It almost doesn't matter how fat you are. If you're at the ledge and you're getting holy water, you can pretty much say goodbye to your stock. Although, that is exactly what I was talking about, right? He says, all right, in this situation, I'd be SOL as Wolf, but right now, I can just armor through that. I do not care about your characters.
Right, and at that range, someone just really good. They just sit there passively and block it. They don't have a lot to punish that forward tilt. Maybe figure out a shield, angle down. But it's not
Nairs again! Wow, and that's great adaptation there by Yosefu, right? To sit there and say, okay, last time I got naired, I got caught out of my double jump, so this time I'm just going to drift towards the stage first, and then if he nairs, I'll have the room to come back. But he is still the one that needs to make the comeback. He's able to mash out, right?
Mash just barely in time to get away from the up smash. And good drift on it as well to avoid.
Oh, just the full armor. He does not care about anything.
The armor is absolutely what he wanted going into this matchup, and I guess
he lives.
He lives through the fire and the flames.
He is large. Not this time.
No, not this time.
Not at all.
Yosefu will kill him. Now he's sitting 123. We can see definitely. I love the little mini hunter to try to hop around projectile pressure, but it's still putting a lot of lag. Still moving in for those two.
Yeah, and right there he saw. It was really funny that the holy water started shield poking him because he was standing in it for so long.
Right.
And you can see Yosefu start to get the handle of, okay, as long as I'm not close to him, and as long as I continue to execute projectile pressure, yeah. Oh, he's got the holy water too?
Holy water in hand off of the back air. This could be an opportunity if he catches the right thing to hit him on shield. Oh, that's not what you want to see though. That big axe coming through. Almost rebounding off the cross of the other one.
Oh my goodness, and the whip to take him out, man. That man was not thirsty. He was not letting go of that water.
No, it turns out even adding the swim speed is not what he needed to get out of Pool's winner's side. He might still...
Tell me how long you were holding on to that one for.
A very long time. But, you know, he still might be able to swim his way through that loser's bracket. There's still more opportunity to see Pugi play. I really did like the adaptations. Even go to a character like K. Rool, which... You know, I'm not a K.